Every friend group has that one person that always gets violated. I used to be that guy. And I didn't realize how much it was messing me up. But when people throw these little jokes, little shots at you, and you just keep laughing it off, you don't confront it. It puts a message through your head that lets you think it's okay if someone disrespects you, and it's not okay. When someone's going too far, when they cross the line, when they say some dumb stuff to you, bro, you gotta confront that right away. You gotta let them know that is not okay, and you're not gonna tolerate that, bro. Sometimes some men even fight for it, like, and it can land them jail time. But if you look at jail, there's so much people that were fighting for their respect. Like respect and pride is something that, like, it can land you. You better balance that out, because if you have too much respect and too much pride, if you want too much of that, it can get you to jail. But if you don't want any of that, it will have people take advantage of you and take you over. You gotta have to find the right balance where you're standing up for yourself, but you're not crashing out on nothing. You're not one of these people who's ready to go to jail tomorrow. But yeah, what I was getting into was that I used to be one of those people that was getting made fun of in the friend group constantly. This was in university. This was from when I was 18 to like 22, 23. I had a few different friend groups. There was one I would chill with on Saturday nights. There would be another that were my university friends, and there was another group that I was still friends with from high school. And we had group chat. I used to see them like twice a week, sometimes three times. We'd just be hanging out. We used to just go to restaurants and just play basketball together, and sometimes do some everyday stuff. But in this friend group, I was always the target of jokes. So if we were playing basketball, let's say I missed the open shot, they would just laugh out of nowhere and call me trash. Literally, if we were to play 5-on-5 against another team, and let's say the guy who I'm defending, he scores, bro, all hell would have broke loose. I was just getting made fun of. I would just be crucified. Like to each other. If it happens to each other, someone else misses that shot, or someone else's, their man beats them and gets to the rim. There's no jokes. There's nothing. There's like whatever. But when it came to me, I was the scapegoat. And if we were to pick up girls, and I would be the one to get rejected, mind you. Like, to be good at girls, and this time I wasn't married, of course. It was like 11 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. And, like, you got to approach a lot of girls to have, like, a good chance, Like, if you approach 3-4 girls and you get one acceptance, you're doing good, Mind you, I was getting rejected. And, bro, these guys would just discourage me. These guys would just laugh at me. It would be like, bro, what is going on? And when a girl said they didn't like me, whatever. And when a girl finally did like me, but I did not like her. One time there was a girl. She was 16 or 17 years old, okay? And I was 19. She was into me, but I was not. I was like, bro, I'm not catching a charge. I'm 19 years old. This girl's 16 turning 17. I'm like, what am I doing? I did not approach. The reason why she approached me is because she kept trying to talk to me when I was at work. So it's not like something that I was in the middle of. It was nothing that I was into. And these guys found out, and they're like, oh, the first girl that likes you, you don't like her. Bro, I am not trying to catch a charge. And you're out here making fun of me because I don't want to date an underage girl that's into me. Like, bro, these guys are just weird. There'd be honestly constant jokes. I would be the shortest friend in that group. Like, I'm 5'7". The other two guys are relatively tall, like 5'11", 6'1". There was another guy like mid-height, I don't know, 5'9", 5'10", but whatever. The smallest jokes, they would take it so far. Like, for me, on a scale of 1 to 10, the jokes on me would be like 11 out of 10 when it came to the outrage. For them to each other, it would be like 5 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 2 out of 10. But when it was me, I got violated. It kind of gets me angry every time I think about it, because if I were to go back in time, I'd honestly fight them on the spot. But at the time, I thought it was okay if people were making fun of you like that. I thought it was normal. I didn't realize it was violation like that too. Plus, I also wanted friends and not to be alone. But even though I did have friends, so it didn't really make sense. And it was my fault too. But yeah, at first when they were making these jokes, I laughed it off. I was like, whatever, it's another joke, whatever. But as time went by, it started sticking onto me. Like, if I thought I was like an 8 or a 9 out of 10 after a haircut, bro, after these guys, I think I'll be like a 5 or a 10. Sorry, a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10. I would think that, like, I was not good enough. I would think that, like, I was not able to get a good looking girl. Like, I became insecure about my height because these guys were joking about my height 24/7. Like, my confidence with girls dropped even more. Like, my confidence in doing things in life dropped. Like, even little things like driving. Like, I'll just make a little weird turn, like, and my confidence would go down every time they'll make a little joke. Like, and now, like, I'm looking back at it. For someone who was driving in the first year, and I was the only one in that friend group that had a car, I drove pretty well as a first year driver, and obviously now it's 10 years later, 11 years later, and, I'm way more experienced. But yeah, one key moment about this story was that one time my friend Tommy, this guy took it too far. His name is not Tommy. I got to protect their identity. But yeah, one time I was at his friend's house, his friend Joe, and, like Tommy just like made a little joke, whatever. And then out of nowhere, this Joe guy just started making fun of me too. I just looked at him like, what the hell is going on? I barely know you. You barely know me. But it was the fact that this Tommy guy was just making jokes in front of him and also behind my back, just violating me. And then I realized, bro, people I barely know around him disrespect me. So the way this guy's disrespecting me is crazy. That's when it all clicked. It's like, bro, I'm allowing this. Why am I friends with this guy? Like, at this point, I'm like 19 or 20 years old. I'm broke. And I'm friends with someone that's just disrespecting me. And I'm tolerating this. That's when I realized, bro, it's not just jokes anymore. One thing just clicked in my head, as time went on after that, like months went by, I stopped really chilling with these guys as much as I did. Like, I'd barely see them here and there. I wouldn't really play basketball with them anymore. Because at the end of the day, I realized, bro, I'm going to start, I'm going to take life more serious. It was good. It was a good thing that I stepped out because, I started like a social media project. And, yeah, I realized those just jokes aren't just jokes. It really changes how you see yourself. It really changes how you tolerate. It really shows how much you respect yourself. Because when I stopped associating myself with these guys, like 1 year in, 1 year after, this was around 2019, like my confidence went up. Like my self-esteem went up. Like my ability to attract women and my self-confidence, everything went up. Like when it was just these guys just shitting on me 24/7, making these jokes, it's like, bro, I literally trapped myself. And I can't fully blame them because I allowed it. I shouldn't have let it went on earlier. I should have stood up for myself, But I'm glad that I did it better late than never. And if you're listening to this too and you're that person, that friend getting violated, either stick up for yourself or leave. Because, like, bro, if people don't respect you, you either got to fight for them to respect you. You either got to stick up for yourself, or you can just leave. Show them that, bro, like I know a lot of women, are very good at this, like men, it takes them a long time. Like, I talked about it when it comes to development as humans. Women are usually much smarter than men in their earlier ages, even as they grow, like sometimes an 18-year-old girl will be much smarter psychologically and socially than a man that's 28. Like, there wouldn't be much difference. She would be much smarter than a man that's 23. But when the man's 28 and the girl's 18, it's like the same level. That's when he's like, around the same level. Like when a man turns 30, that's when he starts smartening up a lot, psychologically, socially. Sorry, that was some bad pronunciation. But yeah, at the end of the day, you gotta realize your ancestors didn't go through everything just for you to be a victim. But yeah, at the end of the day, you gotta realize your ancestors didn't go through everything of surviving wars, surviving, the land raids, just for them to have someone in the generation being a victim in the group. Like, don't be that guy, bro. Please stand up for yourself. Because deep down, even when they were doing this, I knew I wasn't trash. I knew I wasn't as bad as it made me feel. I knew I was not incompetent. I knew there was something in me, But what I did was just separate myself from that group, just slowly rebuild my confidence, get some self-respect. I grew my company as years go by. I met my wife literally 2.5 years later after ghosting them. I became way more secure, way more confident. I went to the gym. I made more money. I realized, when it came to friends like that, I never tolerated that from friends again. People know not to disrespect me like that anymore. Even though I'm 5'7", but I wouldn't laugh if someone makes a joke. So I wouldn't laugh at it. Most of the time I do, because they're like, You know, they're just jokes. Like they're not trying to attack me, but I feel like someone's trying to attack me within a joke. Like now, I just like I wouldn't say anything. I just look at them and I'd just be like, "Bro, you're doing too much." You know, like yeah. At the end of the day, I realize no tolerate that. Check out immediately if they're doing it, or cut them off. You know, check them immediately or cut them off. If you're that friend group, you gotta if you're the victim friend in that friend group, you gotta realize those aren't your people. Those aren't your friends. It's not friendship. It's just you're just they're just disrespecting you over and over again, and you're better than that. You know, the longer you stay, the more you become the version of yourself that you're not gonna like. The quicker you leave, the quicker you stand up for yourself, the quicker you don't tolerate disrespect, the quicker you become the man that you need to be. You know, you don't need tougher skin. You need better people around you. Some friend groups don't build you; they shrink you. The problem wasn't me; it was the environment. So, yeah, man, I just want to let you guys know that you guys shouldn't be tolerating disrespect. If you resonate with me, if you're an older member of the community and you realize that this was you and you realize that you have to cut them off too, comment down below. But yeah, peace out, guys. Thanks for listening.
Great work. They are in full retreat.